Hey there, and welcome to the Quick and Dirty Show with Nat and Marks. The best place to be to get step-by-step strategies to live a healthier life and lose weight with ease. If you know our story at all, you'll know that over 8 years ago, Marks and I recommitted to making exercise a priority for us. We had 2 small kids, Marks traveled 3 days a week, and I was so exhausted, I didn't know if I was coming or going. It was not a great time in our lives. Nevertheless, we made exercise a priority again and started working out 4 to 5 days a week. Exercise was the low-hanging fruit for us because it's what we used to do, so it wasn't really a stretch for us. Once we had our exercise headed in the right direction, we started focusing on improving our eating habits. We were making healthy eating choices already, but we quickly discovered that what we were eating was out of balance and we were eating way too much. Our focus then moved to balancing the food and the portions that we were eating. This is when our bodies started to lean out and we started to lose inches at that point, but not pounds. Our pants were certainly looser, but the sizes still stayed the same. It was so frustrating. It was okay because we were making progress, but it was the pounds that needed to come off, that we wanted them to come off. Now, I know I'm not going to get into the exact balance of foods that we ate. You can check out our cookbook for those details, which I'll include in the description below. But I will tell you exactly what we did that had us heading to the smaller pant sizes. And what we did was we cut out eating after supper entirely. And our pant sizes dropped in a matter of a month, literally. Listen to this though. 90% of the time, the food we were eating after supper was carrots and hummus. Now let me top that off with a truth bomb. We were eating when we weren't hungry. We were eating because it had become a habit. I remember going to bed feeling full and bloated most nights. Waking up in the morning and still not being hungry, but eating breakfast just the same. Even though it was healthy food, it was those extra calories we didn't need that made all the difference. Believe me, I thought making the change to not eating after supper was going to be really tough, but it wasn't. When we made sure that we ate a balance of some protein, some carbs, and veggies at supper time, we weren't hungry afterwards. We did have to change up a few of our habits to work for us rather than against us, and over time it became our new normal. Did you notice though that throughout our progression, how we didn't just make a bunch of sweeping changes? We started with exercise because that was our low-hanging fruit. This might not be yours, and that's okay. I'm actually going to link up to another Quick and Dirty episode if you want to find the best behaviors for you to start with that you'll also stick with. Now, only once we had exercise embedded in our routine did we then focus on eating. We worked on our portion sizes. We stopped eating after supper. We made small behavior changes. If eating after supper is a habit you are wanting to break, I'm going to help you. Here are 3 tips. Because I know cravings and temptations can be evil and tough as hell to ignore. And it's always helpful to have some tricks up your sleeve that work. Tip number 1, change your vocabulary. When we're only trying to make a change in our lives, that tiny word try gets us out of things. I'm trying to eat supper. You're already giving yourself permission to fail because you're only trying something. Change the way that you think and change that little word by changing your belief. Rather than, I'm trying not to eat after supper, say, I don't eat after supper. That small vocabulary change identifies you as someone who doesn't eat after supper, and your brain will then go to work helping you find ways to be successful with that. It will alter your beliefs and your mindset enough that you'll find yourself feeling immediately starting to live up to that new belief. Tip number 2, brush your teeth after supper, which gives a signal to your brain that you're not going to eat anymore. Now, as much as brushing your teeth is an easy task to do, it's just enough of a pain in the ass that once your teeth are brushed, you don't want to do it again. you'll find yourself going out of your way to not eat just so you don't have to brush your teeth again before bed. It's the way our brains are wired, so use it to your advantage. Tip number 3, drink tea, but yummy tea. When you eat after supper, it's more than likely out of habit rather than out of actual hunger. You might simply be looking for something to do or craving food you don't need. When you find this happening, opt for a herbal tea, or you can just have plain water if you wish. There are delicious herbal teas available these days. We frequent David's Tea and spend way too much money there, honestly, but we do love our nightly tea ritual. Make sure, though, to go decaf before bed if caffeine gets you wired up. Drinking a delicious tea might be enough to satisfy your cravings and that urge or that habit of having something to do. To this day, Marks and I rarely eat after dinner, and if we do, we always end up lying in bed, gassy and gross and bloaty, and thinking, why did I do that? I much prefer going to bed feeling just a little bit hungry, so I sleep well, I feel rested in the morning, and ready to eat breakfast when I get up. I hope this episode helped shed some light on a habit that just might be standing in the way to achieving the results that you're looking for. If you'd like more strategies like this, head over to natandmarks.ca/free course and sign up for our free training. You will get a video training packed with strategies for losing weight with ease. This stuff works. Remember, why settle for average when greatness is within your reach? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Quick and Dirty Show.